Hey guys, Matty here with Altcoin Buzz. In today's breaking news, we have Spain's second largest bank and one of Europe's largest financial institutions that will be launching their own dedicated crypto services branch. This is the latest bank, BBVA, in a whole slew of financial institutions now that see that the writing is on the wall and that they're publicly announcing their support for Bitcoin, for cryptocurrency, for blockchain. We will get to that. If you like this kind of content, guys, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Let's start with the reminder that Altcoin Buzz and AAX, we are jointly giving away $200 worth of Bitcoin. It's a very easy contest to enter, and the giveaway date is coming up soon. Here's what you have to do. Number one, like and retweet. Number two, follow Altcoin Buzz IO and AAX Exchange on Twitter. Very easy. And finally, reply with any fact or opinion about AAX Exchange. You still have a couple of weeks. As a reminder, this is ending on the 21st of December. That's when we will announce a winner. So best of luck. You may as well throw your hat into the race. Before we launch into today's main story, I wanted to make sure that we at least covered this briefly. This is news from yesterday, and it's hardly the most seismic development in the world, but I think it's representative of what's happening at a more micro level. In this case, Shark Tank's Kevin O'Leary, he's really changing his tune, and it's a total pivot, a total 180 versus where he was a couple years ago. To me, it represents the larger macro trend of banks like BBVA, like other institutions that are all of a sudden changing their tune when it comes to Bitcoin. So Kevin O'Leary is now purportedly willing to put 5% of his portfolio in an SEC-approved Bitcoin ETF, and that's the major caveat because, of course, we do not yet have an SEC-approved Bitcoin ETF. It's hard to say if we'll ever have one, but it's certainly not exactly something that we can predict. It's not currently on the horizon. I mean, all these last few years during this, if you want to call it the extended bear market since 2017, Kevin O'Leary was not exactly the biggest enemy of Bitcoin, to be fair, but he had the kind of, without being on the offensive, he had that kind of Peter Schiff mentality where he didn't understand the value of it. He thought it was largely speculative and he couldn't quite get behind the idea of Bitcoin as a payment solution. He, I guess, didn't have respect for the mining and the difficulty and the resources that would go into producing any one single Bitcoin. He's changing his tune, as many out there in the space are, guys. So again, not to launch into this, I don't think it's necessary, but just a quick observation. Many people who are slowly but surely starting to come around. Okay, moving right along. In yesterday's sponsored video, we took a look at Wing Finance, whose native token is Wing, W-I-N-G. Just want to point out the fact that they're now up nearly 40% on the day, $16.94. I think when I covered the content, they were sitting at around the $10 mark, maybe just below the $11 mark. So certainly a lot of positive momentum. I wish I could take all the credit for it, but that's not quite the case. They have an interesting platform, guys. If you haven't seen that video, I would recommend you check it out. This is their TVL number on full display on their webpage, on their homepage when you land on wing.finance. Again, it's climbing $59 million plus. I believe it was closer to 56 or so when I covered the project and when I was doing my recording. If you haven't checked out Wing Finance, I would recommend it. You can also check out the video here on Altcoin Buzz on the YouTube channel. It's from the 7th of December. You shouldn't have any trouble finding it. Onward now to the main news of the day. BBVA is Spain's second largest bank, and according to sources, they're soon going to be launching crypto services. They are the latest in a slew of banks now that, whether through leaks, whether through public announcements, have come out ultimately and endorsed the cryptocurrency space, or at least affirmed it by setting up shop, by setting up their own divisions and branches dedicated exclusively to cryptocurrency. A little bit about BBVA. It stands for, and pardon my pronunciation here, Banco Bilbao Vizcaya Argentaria. So there you have it. They've been around since 1999, a little over 20 years old. Importantly, revenue of over 24 billion and total assets just under 700 billion euros. They're a big bank. Converting that into American dollars, they have $840 billion in assets, which makes them the second largest bank in Spain, and they're poised to enter the crypto trading and custody space, specifically according to two people familiar with the plans. One source with knowledge of the plans told CoinDesk that BBVA is, quote, launching its Europe-wide crypto initiative from Switzerland, and there are still some compliance hurdles, so this will not be in December, but I expect BBVA, will be live next month, i.e. in January 2021. Asked if BBVA was building its solution primarily to deal with tokenized securities, as is the trend lately, the source was actually very specific, and they said this is a cryptocurrency offering. Interesting. We are here on Coindesk.com. They broke this story, and reportedly this is not BBVA's first foray into custody solutions for digital assets. Previously, they had worked with Russia's Gazprom Bank on a project named Silo. And of course, as we all know, this is hardly the first bank to enter this space, let alone custody solutions. We covered earlier in the season DBS out of Singapore that, again, whether that was an intentional leak or that was a carefully planned publicity stunt, we're not sure, but DBS is entering the space. We know that JP Morgan has plans behind the scenes, and this is just what we know about publicly so far, which has been confirmed and quasi-confirmed. You can bet your bottom dollar that just about all of the world's banks have something going on. They're reacting in some way to accommodate for this revolution that is unfolding before our eyes. It just so happens that BBVA is the latest that we're hearing about publicly. And you guys can also read about this story here on the blockcrypto.com as well as coinmarketcap.com, which increasingly is covering the news. You can check out their news section here. Spanish banking giant BBVA is said to be launching crypto trading and custody services. Taking a look at their website, by the way, which is not exactly the most robust, and some of these are a little bit outdated. But as you can see, they do have some sparse publications here relating to blockchain. So going back to the most recent, the 24th of September, just some opinion pieces and whatnot. Earlier than that, we have a few publications in January and at the end of last year. So it looks like, at least to a certain bare minimum level, they are projecting the fact that they are to some extent in the blockchain space. Same goes for cryptocurrencies. Here you can take a look at their latest cryptocurrency publications. Again, not exactly current. Their most recent ones are from November of 2019 and July of 2019. They talk about CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and DLT, distributed ledger technology, as well as the digitization of money. Take a look at this piece. I find this is interesting and a little bit besides the point of this video, but banks like BBVA, it certainly behooves them to get behind the CBDC trend, the central bank digital currency trend, because believe you me, that's coming. 80% of the world's central banks are actively researching and pursuing central bank digital currency projects. I've talked about it before. It's not exactly cryptocurrency. It is the same technology, roughly speaking, but it's hardly decentralized. It's kind of the opposite of that. Anyways, not to go off on a tangent, just to say that if you do kind of peruse through the BBVA website, they have a minimal representation when it comes to digital assets, cryptocurrency, and blockchain. So that's interesting. And before we wrap up today's video, just want to remind you guys that Crypto.com is now in full swing. Their Supercharger event continues to roll on, this time offering Bitcoin rewards in exchange for deposited CRO tokens. So you may be familiar with this, but in case you're not, the way it works, it's a staking initiative effectively. So for the next 20 days, the charging period right now is ongoing. You can deposit or stake your CRO tokens for 20 more days. And then there's a reward period that's going to unlock with high APY for the 30 days following that. So again, 20 more days to deposit your CRO, by the way, which you can take out at any time. It's totally optional and up to you. There's no lock-in period per se, but you have 20 more days to stake, deposit, to charge, if you will, those CRO, and then you'll receive Bitcoin rewards after the fact. Check out the article here by David for more information on this initiative. Look, it's a great way to earn passive income. That's what this space is all about. And I think, just my personal opinion and perhaps not financial advice, but if you're not taking advantage of some of the passive income opportunities in this space, whether it's Crypto.com or otherwise another app, another platform, I think you're missing out, because the opportunities right now are unlike anything else in the financial landscape. Just my 2 cents. Guys, if you want to check out the Crypto.com Visa card as well, there are some great new offers. Of course, it's coming both to Canada and Australia. Check out our link in the description below if it's something that you'd like to check out and perhaps order, start using if you want to up your cryptocurrency game and get CRO rewards, cash back on everything that you spend in the form of cryptocurrency. Use our code below. Our exclusive code is AB. You will get $25 loaded onto your card for free. Again, the code is AB. Okay, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army, that is it for today. Do be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels. Keep checking back into altcoinbuzz.io for all the latest. Like, subscribe, share, hit the bell to receive notifications, of course, if you guys enjoyed today's video. Best of luck if you choose to invest on this Tuesday. Stay safe, everybody. As always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.